Hello, Big Clavier users. I'm here today with an actual piano to explain a little bit about the new resonance preparation. Before I get into any of the software stuff, I wanted to do some quick demonstrations to show the real-world behavior that resonance is drawing on. Piano players might be familiar with this stuff already, but I'll quickly review how the dampers in a piano work because they're crucial to a piano's sympathetic resonance. Essentially, when you press any key on the piano, the damper comes up, allowing the string to ring out when the hammer strikes it. Normally, this happens so quickly and thoughtlessly, but if you press down the key super slowly, the damper will come out without driving the hammer into the string with enough force to sound a note. This is key for sympathetic resonance. So, with this in mind, I can hold down a very low C on the piano and strike the C an octave above that. As you can hear, the higher C rings, even though its strings are not vibrating. This has everything to do with harmonics. The higher C is the first overtone in the low C's harmonic series, and the two notes share many harmonics. Therefore, the energy generated when striking the higher C can also induce vibration in the low C. Because the low C's damper is up, the string is allowed to vibrate and we hear a sympathetic resonance at the pitch of the higher C. Note that this phenomenon can happen with any of the low C's overtones. For instance, this is the second overtone in the low C's harmonic series. And this is the fourth overtone. Also, this phenomenon can work in reverse. That is, if you hold down any overtone of some fundamental, and then strike that fundamental, the overtone will ring out. This happens by similar reasoning. When you strike the fundamental, this produces some energy at each of its harmonics. When the damper of the overtone note is up, the energy that the fundamental produces at any shared frequencies in each note's harmonic series will induce vibration in the overtone strings. So, that was just a brief explanation of what sympathetic resonance is. But I think it's important to mention that while these demonstrations highlight the phenomenon, this is happening all the time when you play the piano. When you play chords, for example, some of the notes in the chord might share harmonics with other notes, which subtly affects the way that the strings vibrate. Sympathetic resonance is simply part of what makes the piano sound the way it does. Okay, so now back in BitClavier. If you load up a fresh basic piano and try the demo I just did, you'll notice that it doesn't work. There's no ringing after you strike the higher C. But if you just connect resonance to the Keymap, which you can do in a number of ways, I like to just press R, Command, drag. You can hear a sympathetic resonance. And it works just the same as with a real piano. You can do different overtones. You can also hold the overtone rather than the fundamental. This sympathetic resonance is a bit exaggerated with the default settings. To my ears, it sounds a bit more realistic if you open up resonance by double-clicking and pull back the start time maybe and drop the volume as well. But BitClavier has never really been about making the most realistic sounding digital piano, and it's not the first piano synth to implement sympathetic resonances. If you're looking for a good synth to check out might be Pianotech. But what is special about BitClavier is the ability to make something really fun and interesting that remains grounded in the piano. And I'll get more into that side of resonance in the next video.